Welcome back to Beyond the Diamond, the post-Hurricane Beryl edition. If you're tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
I'm storm fatigued. I'm hurricane fatigued. I'm just fatigued.
Thank God the office has AC.
Yes. We are very lucky right now. If you're watching this, you're probably a lucky one as too, as you have power. For all the people out there that don't, I just got mine back late last night after 2 days, and it's rough. It's hot. It's warm. Just find someone. Reach out. Find a place where you can cool off. Make sure you take care of your pets as well as your people.
The Astros,
Speaking,
I said the Astros are 1-0 since Hurricane Beryl.
1-0, Houston strong. Speaking of taking care of people, real quick, some of our sponsors, Jesse's Burger and Shakes, they're open. Make sure check out their locations at 230200 Speed Street, New Caney, Texas, and 23242 FM 1314 Porter, Texas, as well as the Big City Wings locations. Sam just texted me the list, the locations that are open as of now. This is July 10th, a Wednesday at 11 a.m. The Edo location, the Pearland location, the Marquee location, Richmond Lakes, Morton Ranch, Cinco Ranch, Copperfield, Crocodile, and Atascocita. Big City Wings locations are open, so go check them out. They have, between Jesse's Burgers and Sam over at Big City, they have AC, they have good warm food, so get a good meal. And I had to cook like $400 worth of food.
Yeah,
we were just giving them out on the street. Like, it was just like, we can't let this go to waste. So it's kind of cool to have that little community block party of it. But the Astros are 1-0 post Hurricane Beryl. They dropped the series against the Twins in a series that me and you talked about. It felt like a trap. Felt like last leg of a road trip. Hurricane.
You don't have a
barreling down on us.
Yeah, you don't have a fifth starter.
You don't have a starter. You win the bullpen game.
Yeah, that was
almost lost the bullpen game.
Yeah.
Almost gave it all back. But the boys were resilient, won that game. Obviously, disappointing a bit, dropping one of the next two and a chance to win a series. But with Hunter just ran into a buzzsaw. But what he did great was he ate it. He ate the shit sandwich that he made, and that's all you can ask for.
Extremely impressive.
It was veteran. It was a veteran move. It was a Verlander type thing.
I was like, oh, I hope he at least gets to 4, and he was able to stretch that to 6 innings, which is
crazy.
Because
I mean, and maybe it was a thing of tipping or game plan that just didn't work, but he flipped the switch in the 3rd inning where he just bared down and was like, I'm gonna give everything I have to this team, and especially that bullpen, who was just evaporated the day before of how it was being used in a bullpen game, to give you a chance for Sunday. And obviously the Astros dropped the game on Sunday, a tight one. Spencer gave you enough to win that game. It just didn't go the Astros' way. It's baseball. A straight runner on second in the 8th. Hader gives up a solo shot in the 9th to former World Series champion Houston Astro Christian Vasquez. And that's just baseball. I mean, you can't expect this team to win every series, but I think the human element probably had a lot to do with kind of, hey, we need to get home. And that happens. The guys aren't going to be perfect. Obviously, there was no blood, I don't think, because Seattle lost in that span as well. So
yeah, I think did they win yesterday?
They won yesterday.
So I think they've matched us for the last like 5 games, I think.
And and obviously looking forward and looking to take the division, the Rangers have won 5 in a row. Behind you,
they're starting to. I think
starting to warm up a little bit.
The West is starting to look like we thought it was going to look going into the season. 3 competitive teams.
Was it you that had to take that, or maybe it was someone online? I've hurricane brain. It's just, this is the first day I've been online in 3 days, and knowing everyone watching knows that I'm always on my phone and always online. So it's been almost like a detox. The Rangers, someone had to say, I don't know if it was you or someone else, that the Rangers were going to actually pass up Seattle. It's going to be Astros Rangers down the stretch.
I think I said that.
I think
when
you
we
said
were
that
talking
on the pod,
about Seattle's
inability to score runs.
Yes, their offense
as of now,
and then their pitching losing steam, as they go on. So yeah, I mean, I definitely believe that. I think the Rangers have a better roster. I think over the course of a 162 game season, the better rosters pan out more often than not. The Seattle's been playing with a worse roster. They have 4, when healthy, 5 or 6 very good starting pitchers, and then Munoz, and then that's it. That's their team. And then they have an offense that is not good. They have a bullpen outside of Munoz that is not good for the most part. So that's not going to carry you through a 162 game season. The Rangers, on the flip side, have a very stacked offense and some solid starting pitching and a couple solid bullpen arms. I still think the Astros have the best roster, but I think over the course of the whole season, it should probably pan out Astros, Rangers, Seattle.
And I think it helps Houston that a third team in the West is playing for the playoffs in the sense of can play disruptor. A series here or there brings a team into it or out of it.
As long as the Astros take care of business,
exactly.
They can beat up on each other. Yeah,
and to put a bow on the road trip, they won the Mets series 2 of 3. They won the Toronto series 3 of 4. Lose the Minnesota series 2 to 3. A 6-4 road trip, you take. Obviously,
for sure. It's your longest road trip of the season, and for it to be a winning road trip, that's a W.
I'll take that. Obviously 6-4 is good. If you would have took, one in Minnesota, 7-3 would have been great, but I mean, you can't split hair. 6-4, like you said, longest road trip, and the other implications with the hurricane pre hitting us, but guys trying to get back home that night, pretty hectic. So jumping into the Miami series last night, got to see some of it. 4-3 win, a little sweaty, but a win. Hey,
a little sweaty.
A win is a win.
Ronell had a great start. It was
shaky
It was
first.
2 solo bombs that got him. Outside of that, 7 innings, diced him up, and he only allowed 4 hits, something like that.
At one point, he retired 15 in a row, and then 17 of 18.
He looked vintage. A couple of months ago, he looked vintage Ronell. Like that's the Ronell we've been seeing all season. He looked great.
I mean, and he's a workhorse. Like a shaky first, gets out of it, settles down. Jazz got him. So be it. The solos aren't going to kill you. The solo he gives up in the 7th, 6th or 7th, first row of the Crawford box.
Yeah,
like literally the only place a home run is happening is there. Doobie, shout out to Doobs. You dinked me. You dinked me on that. I was like, hell yeah, it was going to be a double off the ball. It slips on the first row.
Just kept carrying.
It just kept carrying. One of those that just gets up there. But
it was like that Tigers home run, like Riley Green or one of them, last homestand. Just like a lefty slicer that just carried enough.
It felt like one of those golf shots where you mishit it, but you played for your mishit, and you're just like, oh, that's slicing right back to my exact line that I had in my head when you were like 40 yards aimed the other way.
Yeah, you know who hit a lot of those at Minute Maid Park early on in Minute Maid Park?
Bregman.
Yeah, Bregman hit a lot of those lefty oppo slicers like that grand slam.
Oh yeah. That's good. Damn, look at that call. That was a good pull.
I watch ball. You know what I'm saying?
Vintage ball watcher.
Yeah.
Someone would say pause.
Sure, I was.
Pause.
Pause.
It wouldn't be an episode Beyond the Diamond without a pause. 4-3 sweaty win. Brian Brady looks gassed.
He needs
this All-Star break.
Yeah. We need to try and avoid using him maybe one more time before the All-Star break.
I honestly think, and I'll say Taylor Scott hasn't been used in like 3 days, so thank goodness because he's deserved it. Seth hasn't. Presley got hot but didn't go in the 8th. They gave it to Hader in the 9th. I thought Press was going in the 9th. I thought Hader was gonna have a day off.
I thought they were doing that as well,
but I like it. Hader gives up the solo shot against Minnesota. The walk-off, we lose.
Get him right back out there.
Get him right back out there, right back on the horse.
I mean, in safe situations,
you go to your $95 million man.
He's been what is he, like 15 to 16 save opportunities?
I think so.
When he's in there in a safe situation, he's done his job almost every time. The problem is we've been
using him as a holder.
We keep having to use him in a game where we're tied or down by 1 in the 9th or something like that.
But a win is a win. You take it. I mean, it's been a mantra with the boys. A win is a win, and so
going back out there tonight.
Framber pitching tonight. That leaves who on Thursday? That would leave Hunter.
I don't have service and we don't have Wi-Fi. I think it's
TBD right now. TBD.
That would be the bullpen.
I think a bullpen game.
Oh, it's because they're talking about.
Bloss.
They're talking about Bloss.
Jake Bloss may be back up. So, all in all, I think last night we saw some really good at bats late. Alex Bregman with a 2-run game-winning shot. If he gets going with the power stroke, I mean, look out. I think he's just been a steady anchor.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers don't pop off the page.
When you look at it over 162, they're gonna pop. That's the crazy thing. He's one of those guys that each month
people make fun of me every time where I'm like, he might be a future Hall of Famer, and people like make fun of me. I'm like, look at third baseman, look at his like on pace numbers. If he keeps it up, and he does, it's not like he has it's not like his ability is super athletic that he's gonna decline with age as much. Not to get on a whole rant about Alex Bregman, but I believe he's a future Hall of Famer. He's on pace for, I think it's like 350, 400 bombs. He's going to be up there. He's going to have similar stats to some third basemen that have been in the Hall of Fame.
I have one for you right now.
All right.
This guy he has 2,000 career hits, 2,077 career hits, 316 home runs, and a batting average of 281. He won 1 World Series, 7-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glove, and he was Rookie of the Year. Who do you think it was? Third baseman.
Scott Rowland?
Scott Rowland.
Yeah,
Just elected in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, he's very much on a Scott Rowland trajectory. I mean, it's not gonna it's gonna be easy. I don't think he's a surefire one, but I think he's only he's only 30 now.
Bregman's chasing 24 points in WAR to Scott Rowland. He's chasing 1,000 hits from Scott Rowland and chasing roughly, that's 176. What did I say? How many home runs?
He's at 176.
Scott Rowland was at 316, so maybe the threshold's 300.
Yeah, I think if he gets to 300 bombs,
2,000 hits,
and he keeps his OPS close to 900, he has a chance. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy.
It's not surefire, but
yeah.
I mean, at the end of Alex Bregman's career, bare minimum is Hall of Very Good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's that
he's for sure. He's already in the Astros Hall of Fame.
Easily.
He's gonna have his number retired.
The Hall of Very Good to that Hall of Very Fame, or Hall of Very Good to Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Usually lies with some stupid ass MLB writers and voters, but I think also the thresholds, like those benchmarks that Major League Baseball loves so much. They love that 300 number. Yeah. They love that 2,000 number. And depending on what position you are, it's like certain things they love.
If he keeps playing elite defense and can play until he's like 40.
It's not a bad bet.
Anyways,
not a bad bet.
Back to his season this season. You're right. Consistently, people love to dog on him. He's got an OPS over 700. He's holding down a lineup, whether he should be hitting cleanup or top of the order when everybody is healthy. That's a conversation that I get arguing that, but saying he's not good or saying he's bad is just stupid.
Well, I think it's just kind of unfair because if you take out the 2019 year, right? OPS 791, 827, 926, 801, 777, 820, 804, and this year 727. And it's bumping up. He'll be back in the 800s.
Yeah.
You take that. Everyone just takes his whole frame every year and goes, well, it's not 2019 Alex Bregman. Yeah. Well, we also don't have the 2019 juice balls that the entire league had.
Yeah.
Look at the numbers that everyone in the league had in 2019. you just can't. You can't wait. That can't be
you take away that year.
The
and
bar.
He's still great.
Yeah, you can't take that as your watermark.
Yeah.
And so, if as of now, before the All-Star break, he has an OPS plus of 106, OPS of 727. He's gonna be in the OPS plus in the 120s, and he's gonna have the 800 OPS by the end of the year. It's just one of those guys that stacks good month to great month to exceptional month at the back end, and we've seen it time and time again. And it started off this year.
Clutch
Yeah.
in big situations.
Yeah.
He's one of the best
care.
Astros of all time. So that's why I'm like, when people start slandering him and talking about how he's overrated or not good or whatever, I'm just like, you don't know ball.
Yeah,
it's just
you don't.
It's simple.
You don't know ball. And speaking of not knowing ball, there's a lot of people upset online. The news of Lance McCullers Jr. Being shut down, being pulled back was the news. Sucks, and I understand the frustrations of the fan base and everyone. Like, but where I get so upset and the dragging of Lance online and from what he's doing off the field with his business that he's growing, but secondhand, like, do people like? And I guess get your tweets off, whatever. But it's not like players, and not even Lance, but every player, everyone that's doing rehab is not like, well, I'm gonna go get hurt today in my rehab. Like, Billy Bob 1234 tweeted at me today. You know what? I'm gonna go blow my elbow out. Like that's not like, you have a set rehab plan, and you go out and you do the work, and you abide by this plan from your medical professionals and the training staff and everything. And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work. And
sometimes your arm just
you're just injured.
Betrays you. Sometimes your
body betrays you.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm like my mindset of an athlete. I'm not speaking for anyone, but I'm just like, it really feels like people online think like, all right, I'm going to get on the bullpen today and I'm going to throw as hard as I fucking can until my elbow blows out, because you know what? I like getting the checks and I don't like playing ball.
Say, they paid me, and I just don't feel like playing the game that I've devoted my whole life to.
Yeah.
What?
I've known one person, that was Pedro Baez when he was just sandbagging the Astros. Every single other Astro.
And you know about it.
Yeah, and I know about it.
Yeah, we know when it's happening.
Yeah,
it's not
trust us. We will tell you. It's frustrating that it's like, people don't understand that these guys are the top 0.001% of athletes in their sport playing. These guys are fucking killers.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they're on commercials. Yes, they're doing side quest business. Yes, they're doing all this. These guys are fucking killers. And we've been privileged and honored to hang around with these guys and what we do. But don't get that. These guys are fucking killers. Like, they are the best of the best for a reason. They're not actively not trying to play or get hurt again because they like not working. Hell, I'm wired differently. You give me any sum of money not to work, and I'll find a way to enjoy the hell out of it. I'm not a top 0.001% of these alphas.
There's a drive that got them there.
Yeah,
there's
it doesn't go
there's
away.
Outliers like Pedro Baez and like whatever you want to say.
Allegedly.
About, like, whatever you want to say about potentially like an Anthony Rendon or some people, like the priorities on there. There are others, and mostly, I mean, if you know anything about this Astros team, those are dudes. These are guys that are driving for greatness every day. They're wanting to be out there. They want the ball in their hand when, it's a World Series. Like, so it's unfortunate.
Yes,
but
and I understand the fan side, the frustrations of like, you want to see your guys out there paint, but like, we all do. They do too. Like, it's not just you behind the keyboard. It's just it happens in sports. It just your body betrays you.
My most frustrating take about the whole situation. Say what you want about his World Series performance, 2022, whatever. Like, if you don't like how he plays, sure. The people that have the takes that are like, oh, just cut him.
Can't. Hello, the money's allocated. Like, it's a like.
What do you think that's gonna do? You think you just cut him and we don't have to pay him anymore?
That those
it doesn't make any sense. So you cut him so that like if he does come back, he plays for another team.
Yeah.
What do you gain? What do you gain from that?
You gain nothing.
You gain absolutely
other than.
It's so stupid to me. It's just like zero thought. That's just like, oh, just drop him. It's like, well, okay,
it's time for the Astros to cut bait. It's time.
Yeah, what are we cutting bait for?
You already paid the guy. Like, it's already allocated. It's already on the books.
That's
like,
just so if you're arguing with somebody and they say that, just send this to them so they can feel like an idiot because that's so stupid.
And it's not like the Abreu situation where Abreu was playing actively and had an active.
There's a difference when somebody's on the roster
and
being
one
a
of the
detriment
26
to your team.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a guy on a 60-day. Like maybe you non-tender him or whatever, and then you can work the money in the books other way. Okay, there's that stuff, but like, cut him. You just don't know ball. Like if that's your first, if that's your reaction.
There's absolutely zero positive to cutting him unless he was off the field a detriment to the team.
Yeah,
and he was like, a cancer in the clubhouse or like something like that. That's when you're like, okay, I want this guy out of my organization. That's not what Lance is at all. He's just a dude who his body is betrayed him.
Yeah,
his arm isn't doing what it needs to do.
And Dana today on 790 on Brian and Sean's show talked about. He sounded more positive about maybe getting him back this year in a bullpen capacity, and maybe that's where they can.
I think that's his. I think that's where his future might be in his career. I think that's his best bet.
Yeah.
Because he's nasty. We know he's nasty, and him out of the bullpen for an inning.
It sucks because like, if you ever played a sport on any level and you've been injured, nicked up, or whatever, like, and you're playing, you just know like, damn, like, if I was just 100%, if I was just like, and like
it's mentally, my skills.
You're there. And you go through so much, and you go through obstacles and the rehab, and it's just, damn, I feel for the guy.
But he got us 2 rings. He very much contributed in 2017. He definitely contributed in 2022. He had a bad start in the World Series.
8 innings. He ate the shit. He ate
Seattle,
the shit sandwich.
I mean, if
he doesn't pitch
that Seattle game, everything could unravel. You never know.
People forget how great he was game 3 of that marathon game because Luis Garcia was also brilliant, and then Jeremy Pena home run. Like, Lance started that game. It was fucking nails in that. That was the first time Seattle's had seen a playoff game in what? It was like 20 years.
Yeah.
And that place was
he went into a hostile environment.
Dude, that shot
shut them down.
The one shot that will always live with me in your video. No, when he's walking from the bullpen.
Oh,
and Molly's behind him, and it's like that panned shot.
And
like in Seattle. Dude, that's a. I think Evan may have got that. That's a shot. It's fucking that shot is so fucking epic. But like, hopefully, but the plus side of this, Dana Brown now knows. Hey, I have Luis Garcia coming back, rehabbing, but I need to go get more arms.
They're gonna have to get. I think 3 arms is a minimum.
Wow.
I think 3 arms.
I was gonna say 2.
2, I think, absolute minimum. But I think they need 3. I think they need one guy that can serve as a spot starter / long relief guy in the bullpen, and then 2 starters.
Yeah,
it's either 3 like flyers, or it's 1 really good dude, and then a solid backup.
I think the big thing, and we talked about offline, you're going to have to almost acquire, and I hate saying this, you're going to have to acquire 2 rats.
Is that
two of he who must not be spoken in this city. A guy that will just go eat innings and do all the dirty work in the second half of this season.
Let's give our flowers to Brad Peacock. Let's say we need 2 Brad
You know what?
Peacock.
Let's get 2 Brad Peacock. Fuck the rat.
Yeah.
We need 2 Peacocks. You gotta let me fly. Captain, you gotta let me fly. All-time movie, too.
Oh, yeah.
Just all-time great comedy of the 2010s.
For sure.
I think I would love a front-end guy. I would love a Jack Flaherty. I think Jack Flaherty's possible. Look, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt.
But
second, I think if you can get 2 non-sexy names, and everyone watching, I know you're already in the comments saying, dude, when the Astros tweet out, Astros acquire Cal Quintrell. The Astros acquire Trevor Rogers. Who?
He has
a 7 ERA.
Yeah.
You look at what is xFIP 92 is 100. You You need a guy to jump on that barbed wire.
Yeah.
For everyone
But
else
also-
to jump over him to take that bunker.
I said it last episode. I trust the Astros pitching development and pitching analytics
until
see
they
a guy-
say until they're wrong.
Until they're wrong. Almost every guy that they've acquired, pitching wise, has been a dude, or at least been serviceable. Like I trust that whoever they decide to go get at the deadline, they're going to come in and be solid. And I think getting 2 Brad Peacocks, it might not be getting an ace, but I think it provides you an ace. Because I think having those guys eat innings gives that boost to Ronell and to Hunter to be that number 2, number 3 guy. Even Framber a little bit, and he needs his rest sometimes. I think having those guys eat the innings and allowing Ronell and Hunter to pitch every 6th day instead
Yeah, they're going to
gives
need
them
to.
that boost they need to be the ace type guys you need.
In a perfect world, you get a Flaherty and it's going to hurt, and you get an innings eater. Jake Bloss emerges as a second half innings eater to take some pressure off Spencer, off Hunter, off Ronell, Framber. JV comes back. You can get there. We're going to science the shit out of it.
Yeah. It's going to be
But
in the aggregate.
you can get there. Obviously, Luis, you can get there. Is it a Lauer, is a blue ball down in AAA? You can get there, but I think you can get there easier depending on the shifting trade market winds and the rough seas of the asking costs. I think you can get there in the aggregate because all you need is 4 dudes come October. You just got to get to October.
Yeah.
We've seen it time and time again with this team. Get to October, get 4 dudes, and go to work.
If we get to October, JV's healthy, Framber's healthy and doing all right, Ronell and Hunter aren't completely gassed. If those 4 are ready, I'm bricked
Yeah.
up. We're good.
Yeah.
Like everything's fine. And then you have a solid. Then you potentially have Luis, like depending on how he's doing. He's in the bullpen, or I don't know. I mean, do you move one of those 4 to the bull? Like you should have the bullets. You just have to get there with the arms healthy, with the arms not fully gassed.
Yeah. And we'll wrap here. I don't know if we're going to have a Friday show. I'm out of town. Brian's out of town. Unless you're going to do
I would just be
do
hanging
a
out with
solo
y'all.
live- a solo live pod?
Maybe we'll watch some retro Astros
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we'll hang out.
But the last thing to lead up to this, I want to talk about this before because I won't be online for the episode. You have an opportunity Friday to put the Rangers away.
Yeah, they're surging at the right time.
They've won 5 in a row. They played tonight against the Angels, maybe a day game. They have a day off before they come to
They
Houston.
have a chance to really come in hot.
The series with the Rangers, obviously they have confidence and everything that happened last year, where they rented a ring because I guess they're maybe sellers depending on.
I like that.
That was such a bar. That was such a bar. Alex, who's John? Big John.
Yeah, Big John
Big John
tweeted
tweeted that out that they rented a ring.
Yeah.
It's such a bar. You have an opportunity to put them away.
Yeah. They're probably going to come in with a 6-game winning streak.
Astros win today. They win tomorrow. It's roughly you have a 4-game lead on the Rangers behind you, pending a Rangers win and an Astros sweep. Right? I think 1.5 won. Yeah. That's gambling math.
You're
right there.
you're in a world though where the Rangers could win tonight.
Yeah.
And then the Rangers come into town like a game
And
back,
they're-
and
exactly.
we have problems. Yeah.
But if status quo stays the same going in the series and the Astros are before, you have an opportunity to put them away, extend that lead to 6 or 7,
And get to the All-Star break.
into the All-Star break with a ton of momentum. Because last year, I think it was last year, the Astros had a Seattle series right before the break, and they lost 3 of 4 right before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And that allowed Seattle to eat at the Astros lead.
Yeah. We had a problem last year with putting teams away.
Correct.
They as soon as they would get a little bit of a lead, they would lose it, and that's where you got to the end of September, literally the last day, winning division. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah,
I'd rather not. Rather not.
By taking care of business, and they have been taking care of business at home, but taking care of business on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, allows you to almost force another team to selling, what we did with Toronto.
Yeah.
You force a sizable gap in the division,
Force the Rangers,
at least behind you. Forces the Rangers to make a hard decision of, okay, we're 7-8 back.
Because right now the team is like
right now they're going.
The team has some momentum and they're not wanting to sell, and they're
1,000%.
playing to get back to non-sale territory.
Yes. They are where we were 2 weeks ago, of playing uphill with some momentum.
Yeah,
you have an opportunity to just kick them right down the hill, and you do it. Obviously, you have to execute. They're going to come in. That offense has shown.
This is your last pod before the All-Star break. Where are you?
I'm sticking with what I said. I think the Astros should be 2 games up.
Okay.
Who
does Seattle play this weekend?
I don't know. That requires some help, but this team is just playing. They're capable of playing ugly and winning ugly, which they haven't shown all year, which I love.
Yeah.
As just a baseball seamhead, I love ugly wins. I love getting in the mud and just finding a way to fucking win. And I think that shows a team that's bought in. I think that shows a team that has grit. I think that shows a team where over the last 4 weeks, any any deficit the Astros have been up against, I've been like, they can come back.
Which is wild.
They can come back. Down 4, they can come back.
A month ago, if they were down by 2 runs in the 5th, I was like, game's over. Yeah.
But now this false confidence I have as a fan, I'm just like,
it's all back.
The deficit. And I think it was that when they were down 7-1 and they ended up losing to Toronto 7-6 or whatever it was. Like, I was like, this team is going to find a way to make this win difficult as hell for you.
Make the other team work.
Yeah.
I don't think they've lost a game. What's the last game they lost where they were just fully beat?
Minnesota game 2, the Hunter Brown game.
I guess Hunter Brown game.
But even then they were crap.
It was like 7. It was like 7-0, and then they came out. It was like 7-3, and then 7-4. Like they were still.
Anytime you can, if you lose a game, but force another manager's hand to use a high leverage arms. Yeah. In the Minnesota series, making them use Stratton, making them use Jax, making them use Duran, and look, Twins have a pretty solid 7-8-9 with those guys. Anytime you could force a manager to use those guys in the 5th inning, you're up 7-1, like, hey, I don't have to use my high leverage guys. Mm-hmm. We can take this win. I can use them tomorrow. Anytime you force that guy to be like, fuck, okay, now I got to use my arms. That's a win in my book in a grand scheme of 162. So I think this team is just kind of winning ugly, and you got to win ugly to have a parade on Louisiana Street.
Yeah.
Like, you have to find ways, and this team is finding ways. So I think they.
So we're Angels fans for the next week. The Angels play the Rangers today, and then the Mariners have the Angels all weekend. So that's
4-3.
Just 3. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, that's tough.
Okay, hey,
that's
go to work.
Tough for your prediction, but
go to work.
I'll be happy if even if they just hold serve right now.
Yeah, no blood.
If they're within 2 games of the division at the All-Star break, I'm fine with that. That is more than doable.
And I think one last thing, that this team definitely needs the All-Star break just to take a deep breath, hit the reset button, and be like, okay, start off shitty as hell, but we're here. You just cannot take your foot off the gas because you see the light of the All-Star break. You gotta run through that fucking wall. You just gotta, okay, I can take my deep breath next week. Let's just keep going. It's very easy for you to let off the gas against a Miami. It's very easy.
That's what I was worried about against Miami.
Yeah,
I think the fact that it's Texas will help not happen because you got to turn it on a little bit. But if it was flipped and they were playing Miami the last series before the All-Star break,
I would be worried for it to slip away.
I would be worried.
And I think it starts tonight with Framber Valdez going out and spinning a gem. I think Framber Valdez has to be the franchise tonight and show that you are an ace, show that you are capable of being an anchor for this rotation and not letting a team that is below you a lot of tiers to hang around and scrap a win. Yeah. Because every other team right now that's that's not in it, they're just going to spoil seasons. They know, like, hey, we're the Marlins. We're not going to win the NL East. We're not going to win a wild card. We're probably going to sell off a lot of pieces. Why not be a thorn in the side against these teams? So it starts tonight with Framber Valdez, and from then on, just carry that momentum into the Jake Bloss game, into the Ranger series. So, yeah, that's it.
All right.
Well, once again, Jesse's Burgers locations will be in the comments. Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Paul's Wing Joint. The locations will be listed below where they're opened. And just shout out to everyone out there getting their doors open in any capacity for AC, Wi-Fi, food. City of Houston rallies strong like they always do in these times of needs. And our last sponsor, Coby Stevens Golf, the apparel. I'm going down to the island for a bit for a family reunion, so I'll be rocking the resort line. I'll be rocking the polos. So
hopefully there's AC down there.
Hopefully there's AC down there. I'm doing my Ted Cruz. I'm running away from after the storm.
You're gonna get in the water.
I'm not getting in the water. Not getting in the water. So I'm leaving a hurricane to go get bit by a shark, essentially.
Yep.
Shout out to Coby Stevens. Go over to their site. They have specials and sales going on up to like 90%, excuse me. Coby Stevens Golf, and we'll tag everything down below. So everyone stay safe. Everyone watching, just be a good human, extend a hand, especially these trying needs, and take us out.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening to Beyond Admin Podcast. I think I'll be back Friday. We'll do a little live stream, maybe watch some retro Astros highlights or something. And then we have the All-Star game next week. I think we'll be doing some sort of live stream for that. So hang out. But thank you for watching. I'm Josh. That's Dez. And we'll see you next time.
Peace. Love you guys.
Go Stars.
Watch baseball.